Aloha. Aloha winala, good afternoon. My name is Kahu Phil. I want to share with you a simple principle that has actually changed the way I look at almost every problem in life, especially my life. It's called the Rotten Fencepost Principle. Every day, people spend enormous amounts of time trying to repair problems. That just keeps coming back. Problems that just show up always. The argument, the financial struggle, the health issue, the broken relationship, the lack of peace. Most of us naturally attack what we can see because that's what's right in front of us. But visible problems are rarely the real problem. Years of ranching taught me something I've never forgotten. A fence post can stand straight for years upon years, even though it's already rotting beneath the ground. You can tighten the wire, you can replace the staples, you can brace the post, you can even paint it. Everything looks better for a while. Then one day, a storm, a cow, a horse, even a person sometimes, they lean on it. And you realize that that did not create it. The storm didn't create it. The animal didn't create the weakness. It simply just revealed what had already been there. Life works the same way. Most of us spend our lives fixing symptoms while ignoring the cause. We become experts at putting out fires instead of asking, who keeps lighting the matches? Think about your own life. A headache may have many different causes. Debt is rarely just about mathematics. Broken trust rarely begins with one conversation. And poor health usually starts long before the diagnosis. The visible symptom isn't always the real problem. That's why I believe we have to start asking questions. Instead of asking, how do I fix this? Ask, what caused this? Then another question. What caused that? Keep asking why until you reach something deeper than the symptom. That's usually where real change begins. The rotten fence post, what I call the rotten fence post principle, applies almost everywhere. It applies to our health, it applies to our finances, it applies to our relationships, it applies to our personal growth. They're all different symptoms, but the same principle. And I'll tell you what, real change isn't always comfortable. Sometimes we discover that the real cause is fear. Sometimes it's pride. Sometimes it's a habit we repeated for years upon years upon years. Sometimes it's simply believing something that is no longer true. I call many of these learned truths. Replacing the rotten post takes work. But once the post is solid, you stop rebuilding the same fence over and over again. So here's my challenge for you. Think about one problem that keeps coming back in your life. Write it down. Then ask yourself, why? Write down the answer. Then ask why again. And keep doing that until you can't go any deeper. Because when you finally reach what you believe is the real cause, then you ask one more question. And that is, what is one action I can take this week that addresses the cause instead of the symptom and then do it. That's where lasting change begins. My friends, if this message encouraged you, I would really like to invite you to continue learning with me. My new book is called Find the Cause, Not the Symptoms, a Rotten Fencepost foundational guide. But you'll also find additional articles, resources, and future teachings at the Rotten Fencepost section. I have that section on my website. Keopuni o Keakua. Keopuni a Keakua.faith. These few minutes with me are very special to be with you. So until next time, don't spend your life tightening the wire. Replace that rotten post. So God bless you and aloha.